Thursday. 6. And it starts at 6:30.
Welcome, everyone. This is the 22nd day of October 2018. Welcome, everyone. First, the roll call.
Yes, Mayor Curley.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem King.
Here.
Alderperson Blanks. Duncan.
Here.
Dunn. Here. Noes.
Here.
Mathis.
Here.
We have a quorum, so we will proceed. First, we're very pleased that Dr. Yates is with us this evening. Ask him to step to the podium and offer our invitation and place of the night. Let's do one. Please stand.
Bow your heads with me as we pray. Loving and gracious Father, you are indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you today for all of your blessings, for the successful outcome of our meeting, and for all board members and support members. We ask that you bless them abundantly, and we continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations. Help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Help us to make decisions that are for the good of all and guard us from blind self-interest. Dear Lord, grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do. All glory be to you, loving Father, now and always, through Jesus, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dr. Yates. All right, you see we have a new honorary alderman this evening. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Matthew Ross. He's quite an accomplished young man, and pleased that you're with us tonight. Just look, Matthew is a senior at Thelma High School, has a GPA of 3.75. Perhaps some of you have seen him at the country club, where he works in the concession stand, from my understanding. And he also helps work on the farm that his family owns just right outside of Tullahoma. He's very active in football and basketball and DECA, Spanish club. He's also got a 3.75 GPA, which is quite impressive. Some things that he's earned just recently. He's earned the Eli Grow Award. We all know about that recognition. He's all-region football for the past 2 years. He's placed second place in the regional DECA, or is that state competition?
That's regional.
Regional,
Yes,
okay. And he has a lot of interest in finance, turns out. He's earned the finance award because he had the highest GPA in finance this past year. So he was most recently the homecoming king at Thelma High School. So he has, well, tell us a little bit about your plans after graduation.
Well, I plan to join the Air Force, hopefully get into an ROTC program at some college. I was going to go to the Air Force Academy, but those plans didn't work out, so I'm looking to get in that ROTC program and hopefully major in nursing or pre-med, and then hopefully go to medical school. And the reason I say nursing is because there's a lot of opportunities after nursing school that you can go to if you don't make it into medical school, or you're just a nurse already, so I think that's a good thing. And both my parents are in the medical field, so I think that's just my best shot at doing something good in life. And as you might know, our football team, we're 8-1, and we play in the region championship up in Nashville this week. And so any of you that want to come, it'd be great to see you there, because it's going to be a good ball game. And
You guarantee it?
I guarantee it. It'll be a great
So
game.
what positions do you play?
I play tight end and wide receiver on offense, and then defensive end on defense. A little bit outside linebacker.
What was the game we played in Nashville?
It will be played at Maplewood High School, just a little bit past Nissan Stadium, if you're on the interstate. Yes,
So,
sir.
Both of those teams are 8-1, so it'll be a good game.
Yes, it will.
But our kids have really excelled this year.
Yes, sir.
So Mr. Ross shared with me something just a few minutes ago, that he works really hard to encourage all those folks around him at the high school, and shared with me a little bit about why he does that. And I'm certainly proud of him for that. That's a great attribute, to always be an encourager. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's something I have written outside my door, on the right side of my door. So I have to look at it every day before I go out. And I'm like, just says, be nice to people every day. And kind of take that to heart and just try to make sure I make a positive impact on everybody around me.
I got something for you before
Yes,
you
sir.
leave today. Before you leave.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Duncan is the poet laureate, unofficially, of Tullahoma. Maybe more. Well, Matthew, if you would stand there at your desk, we've got a certificate recognizing you as the honorary alderman tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, Mr. Ross, we'll call on you in just a few minutes for anything that you'd like to add that's maybe going on at the high school that you would like to announce, okay? Good. All right, we're ready for proclamations, awards, special presentations. I'm not aware of anything this evening in that regard. We're ready for comments from citizens. Anyone in the audience have anything to address the board on an item not later on the agenda? Seeing none, we will proceed. We're ready for board reports. Mr. Mathis, please, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I did, I'm employed at Lowe's right now. I did my light retirement. I tried it for 2 months and caught myself sitting around, so I went out there and got a job. And it's been very good. The other day when I was getting ready to leave, our band was there. They were out in the parking lot, and I started to pull off. And Mr. Chastain said, "Why don't you just stay and listen?" So I did. And the first thing they played was the fight song. The second thing they played was Rocky Top. And I said, well, I guess it's time I left now. But no, I didn't do that. But they're really, really talented. They're very talented. And I won't say anything about the football game on Saturday. I just, I don't have to. That's all I got. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Ross, as a point of explanation, Mr. Mathis is a fan of the team south of us.
Yes, sir.
Not even in Tennessee.
I'm not too fond of that team.
Where did you get him?
No, the question is, where did we get you? Thank you, Mr. Mathis.
Thank you.
Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mayor. I apologize for missing the last board meeting. I was sick, and I called Tom Robinson, and but he was the only one I could get a hold of at the time. But it was anyway. I did attend the mayor's monthly coordinating meeting at D.W. Wilson, and I was scheduled for the Alzheimer's walk that following weekend. But like I said, I was sick earlier in the week, and I just wasn't able to participate in that. But I did participate in the 6-week-long fitness program, Walk the Appalachian Trail. And I did do that. I did that religiously, except for the couple of days I was sick. Anyway, now my team didn't win the race, but we vigorously did participate. So I think we were a very small team, so we nowhere like that number one team up there, but we ran there. I was honored once again to deliver the invocation for the Tennessee Backroads Heritage Society, which the mayor was there, and it was a great event. Our own Steve May was the speaker, and he did a fantastic job of telling the history of Jack Daniels, and it's available, I believe, on LightTube. So anyway, it was videoed. So we're in the middle of a big fundraiser at my church, Mount Zion, and I've got some things on that, but I won't mention that tonight. But it's a great project, and some good things happening out of that. I just want to remind everybody to the early voting is going on, and to vote. Be sure and vote. When it breaks my heart to see on the news when people are being killed in other countries because they're trying to vote, and somebody's trying to deny them that right, and blowing people up, and all kinds of bad things are happening. And we have the right here, and a lot of us just don't think about it. We take it for granted, and we just, well, it's okay the way things are. But I'm seeing now that the polls have been, it was quite full today, quite a bit of people there, quite a bit of activity, and I did go and vote today, and it was a good, it's always great to, when you see other people, other things that are going on elsewhere, and to know that you have the right to do this, and you honor that right, and don't ever relinquish it. So I did write a nice poem on that also, but I'll save that for some other time maybe. I'll share it with the newspaper maybe.
There you go.
Anyway, that's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Alderman Keenan.
Yes, I too participated in the walk, and I want to thank Kurt and his staff for getting us walking again. Our group we did pretty well, so we were tickled. We sure weren't in that first and second, third. It was amazing what they did. So kudos to all of those people who walked as much as they did. And Mathis, Coach Mathis, Rocky Top is because you do live in Tennessee. I mean, your blood may be crimson, but we are in Tennessee, so.
Most of our blood is crimson.
Yeah, no, it's orange. But anyway, so yeah, we are all proud of the band. I think they've made a lot of stops in a lot of places, so
really
our band's
good.
done a
Very
great
talented.
job. And kudos as well to our football team. It's exciting to see after the last few years we haven't had great response in our team situation. So kudos to everything y'all are doing. I'm sure you have a wonderful support this week. Last week I also attended the regional chamber meeting out on the Hill, Jack Daniels on the Hill. It was wonderful and attended by a lot of people. So they do a wonderful job and certainly know how to put on a banquet. Just an FYI for women in town, the Bunko Babes and GFWC Centennial Women's Club will be hosting the 12th annual Bunko Challenge, raising money for the Multi-County Cancer Support Network on Thursday at 6 o'clock. If anyone's interested, please contact me and let me know before Wednesday afternoon, if at all possible. I also attended a school board meeting, and I conducted the planning and coordinating meeting as our mayor was there. And one other thing, tomorrow is the coffee, and it will be at Northgate Mall. That's all. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Mrs. Dunn.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned our last meeting that we received the Bonnaroo grant. Did I mention that? I couldn't remember. Okay, we got our Bonnaroo grant for Earth Day, so we got $5,000.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. We're going to be using that to spread the word and let people know more about it. And our team on the walking trail, we did all right. So
Your team did?
yeah,
Well, congratulations.
yeah.
Who's on your team?
On the walking team.
Yeah, the Appalachian Trail team.
We are the She Persisted, and we persisted right on, man. Yeah. So my mom walked with me a lot every morning. We were out about 5 o'clock, so it was fun.
You guys come in number 2?
No, we were not number 2. No. But
Number
we
1?
walked. No, we didn't win.
Well, I
I
misunderstood.
thought you said you wanted to.
I thought you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I won the Bonnaroo grant. I'm sorry. We
So
did
that
not
sort of
win.
spilled over into the walk.
I'm sorry. I should put some pauses in my. Sorry. No, we did not win the walking. Sorry. Okay. I'm done.
Mr. Lewis, please, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Just the last board meeting as well. I was not sick. I was on a golf outing. My wife and I have hosted Tullahoma couples golf outing for the last 18 years. This is 12 couples this time joined us, and 4 days in a row we play golf up in East Tennessee. So anyway, did the Planning Commission meeting this last week. Next Thursday night we'll be hosting the Dream Tullahoma meeting here at City Hall. So that's all I've been up to.
You know, it sure was quiet at the last meeting. I remember that now. Mr. Ross.
Well, as some of you may know, the Eli Grow 8K is on November 3rd, and that's just a great family trying to do a great thing for the city of Tullahoma. So if you're able to come out and support, I mean, you don't have to run, you can just walk, so it's not that big a deal. I think everybody should try to do that. And I was just talking to Mr. Curley earlier about the businesses coming to Tullahoma. Obviously, Publix is ready to open, and I'm just glad to hear that we're going to be getting many new retail stores around, and that'll really help with the economy around here, because as you may know, I like finance, so that's one of my favorite things to do. So I think that's great for the town. And also, where the old Bojangles is, the traffic light. It's a little problem sometimes. I think it just turns red sometimes when there's nobody sitting there to turn, and you're just sitting there and nobody's coming. You're the only car sitting there, and you're like, what we're doing. But that's about the only thing I have.
Are you a very impatient person?
I'm actually a very patient person. It's just there's nobody around, and I've actually seen people run that red light when nobody's sitting there. So, I mean, I'm not calling anybody out. It wasn't me, I promise. It really wasn't.
Thank you.
So those of you that participated in the walk know that from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I think it's 6 to 8, there's a program at B.W. Wilson, so hope to see you there. So, Mr. Ross, thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for
Appreciate that. Sure. So, just to report one other thing, each month, Mrs. Wilson provides a sales tax report for the whole community. None of us know what individual company stores' sales are, but as a whole community. And for the month of August, Tullahoma retailers were up 10.1%, 2%, something like that, which is pretty remarkable. It's the largest increase that I've seen in some time. So congratulations to all the retailers in town. All right, we're ready for the city attorney's report. Mr. Worsham, please.
As long as we've waited for Publix to come to Tullahoma, I hope that those sales tax revenue receipts next month really just go sky high, because I think there's really been a anticipation around here for quite some time. A lot of people are really excited about that, so I think that's really good that you mentioned that. You can't help but notice it. It's just beautiful out there in North Jackson Street. It's going to set a standard, I hope, for new development in our city. In relationship to the Public Building Authority that Mr. Greg Sandlin addressed the board about at the last meeting, I promised you all that I would do some research and have a resolution ready for you all tonight. And I did prepare it, but I believe that I will defer or will not have that presented tonight to you. And I did that for the specific reason that Mr. Sandlin did ask the Public Building Authority to seek a CTAS opinion about the actions that the Public Building Authority had taken relative to changing their bylaws at a recent meeting. And although he did not get a second to his motion to do so, our county mayor stepped up and is going to seek an opinion from CTAS about the actions of the Public Building Authority, which may alleviate the necessity of our taking any action in the future. Although it's quite likely that what we might want to do is to lend our support to Mayor Cordell's promise that he would see that at least 2 members of the Public Building Authority are always residents of Tullahoma. So if you don't have any questions about that, we'll just wait and see what happens as a result of the CTAS response to the request, and then we'll move forward.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Thank you. Mrs. Moody.
I have no report tonight.
All right, so we're ready to proceed with the consent agenda. We have 6 items. 18 and 155 minutes of the October 2018 regular meeting. 18 and 156 approve the appointment of Mr. Brian Gagnier to the Tullahoma Area Economic Development Corporation, the Health, Education, and Housing Facility Board, and the Tullahoma Industrial Development Board for a 6-year term. Item 18 and 157 set a public hearing to be held on Monday, November 12th for a zoning text amendment to Article 5 districts by adding the Neighborhood Commercial C3 district. 18 and 158 set a public hearing to be held on Monday, November 12th for a zoning map amendment to rezone property at 700 William Northern Boulevard from I-1 to R3. 18 and 159 approve and authorize the mayor to execute an agreement with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for a non-matching grant award of $14,659.81 to support the purchase of public safety equipment and personnel expenses associated with DUI checkpoints. And 18 and 160 approve the cancellation of the regular meeting of the Board of Aldermen for Monday, November 26th and Monday, December the 24th, 2018. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Proper motion, properly seconded. All those in favor of the consent agenda is presented by green page vote. Motion passes 6-0. We have 2 items of old business. Ordinance number 1512 to consider an ordinance to amend the zoning map as set forth in the Tullahoma Municipal Code, which is ordinance number 1392, to rezone an approximately 3.9 acre parcel located at 725 Old Shelbyville Highway from R1 Low Density Residential District to A Agriculture District for passage on the second of 2 readings. Is there a motion to adopt?
Move to adopt.
Proper motion by Mr. Noah, seconded by Mr. Mathis. Any discussion? All those in favor of ordinance 1512, vote yea. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Ordinance number 1513, consider an ordinance to repeal ordinance 1496, an ordinance amending Title 20 miscellaneous of the Telluride Municipal Code by creating a new Chapter 14 Sports Council for passage on the second of 2 readings. Needed a motion and a second, and just a brief explanation.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Duncan, seconded by Ms. Keene. The purpose of this, as you recall, is that they want to become a 501c3, so we just need to repeal the ordinance setting out the Sports Council. Any discussion? All those in favor of ordinance 1513, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. We have an opening on the Telluride Area Planning Commission. Mr. Joe Marler resigned his position on the Planning Commission as he moved out of state employment. This group of Blackwell submitted their application and desires to serve on the Telluride Area Planning Commission. Appointed by the mayor, so she would fill the remainder of Mr. Marler's unexpired term. This is a mayoral appointment, so I'm pleased that she, Mrs. Blackwell, has expressed an interest in serving, and we appoint her at this time to serve the balance of that term. All right, we have no other old business, is that correct, Mrs. Moody? All right, we have one item of new business, and this is 1779, to consider approval of a funding resolution for Telluride Sports Council. You see that discussion on page 91. This is simply very similar to the funding mechanisms that we used during the budget process, where we're approving funding that. Let me get a motion in a second and open the floor for any discussion.
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Mr. Noes, second by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion? All those in favor of 1779, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. We'll adjourn and go into the beer board portion of the agenda. We have one item, the minutes of October 8th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Mr. Mathis, second by Ms. Keene. All those in favor of the consent, you ready? Yes. All those in favor of the consent agenda, vote green. Opposed, vote red.
Thank you.
Motion passes 6-0. No other business, we are adjourned.